I make sure I've got good coverage of tile cement on both surfaces and then push the paver into place, rocking it back and forth until I can feel it scraping on the concrete. This half paver is going to need some packers to get it up to the right height, so I'm test fitting some 3mm packers here.
You come and go like a monsoon rain. You hide and show like a lightning bolt. You have it all.
Last week we finished doing all the side capping. I ripped some pavers down into 90mm slices and we've glued them on the side here. We had to get these in place before we can put our pavers on top. I used the pre-existing pergola to set the size of this patio. To fit our paver layout into this space, I'm going to have to cut a small slice of all the pavers that are around the edge of the patio. After getting a measurement, I transposed this to the wet saw and cut a slice off the paver. To cut thick pavers like this on my wet saw, I do a couple of light scored cuts along the top before I do a deep cut all the way through the paver. It's important to thoroughly wash it clean. I don't want any small pieces of stone getting in the way when I test fit it. After checking that it fits the edge of our patio perfectly, I move on to measuring the half piece that's going to be behind it. I often write the measurements for the piece I'm going to cut in place for reference. My plan today was to cut and dry fit pavers in the morning and then cement them down in the afternoon as we've been doing throughout this project. But it's just started raining really heavily, so I'm going to have to take cover. I was hoping to get the rest of this paving finished today, but the weather's not cooperating. I'm going to see if this rain set in. We have to come back tomorrow, whether we can wait it out.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain. Beauty in the mundane.
Well, my plan today was to finish off this paving area with all the custom cut pieces around the edges. So last week we got all the principal pavers stuck down that don't need any cuts in them. I started cutting a couple of the ones we're going to have to trim for this outside edge, like this one. This paver, unfortunately, is sitting a bit proud, a bit high, so I'm going to have to grind it down with my large grinder. I use a diamond bit on my large grinder, and we should be able to take a couple of mil off the back of this to get this to fit more flat. I've trimmed this off on the inside so we can keep the natural outside edge. Got some halfway ones. These ones are working out okay because they're a little lower than these pavers, so we can pack them up when we glue them down. My plan is to cut them all so they fit to size and then see which ones need a bit of grinding so we can do them all in one hit. So all our pavers are going to need cutouts to be able to match this outside edge, and the two outside corner ones are going to have cutouts here to go around this post. That was the plan today if the weather was going to allow me. If the job site gets this wet, it gets dangerous because your extension cords and everything are in the water and it's just not worth it. So we might be coming back tomorrow. I'm just going to see if this is going to blow over. It looks like the rain's going to clear, so we're going to carry on trying to finish off this paving area. I have all the pavers spread out here so we can sort them by size and thickness. Because we're using recycled pavers, we have some thickness issues, but we'll get to that later. For the time being, we just need to fit them like a jigsaw puzzle. I'm going to go through and finish all the cutouts on the custom edges first. Then we're going to see how many we need to grind down and how many we need to pack up to keep these pavers as flat as possible. After checking through the inventory of recycled pavers, I've realised there's only 2 of them that I need to grind a couple of mil off. This can be one of the problems with using old recycled pavers. They're not as consistent in their thickness and size as the modern new ones. After fitting my diamond bit to the large grinder, I set up a staging area on a couple of planks of timber.
And now, there's something in the air, and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching for the grand.
After test fitting the paver in place, I realised I need to take a little more off.
Lose track of time, head up high, now we climb. Oh.
Once I'm satisfied this paver's flush to the pre-existing pavers I've cemented to the foundation, I move on to grinding the paver on the other side.
Beyond gravel, beyond dawn.
With this second paver fitting flush and flat to the existing pavers, I move on to continue dry fitting the pavers around the edge of our patio. But first I'm going to give it a thorough wash down after all the dust I generated. For fitting these corner pieces next to the step, I find it more accurate to have the paver in place. I can see here it overhangs by about 15 mil on two sides. I then get a measurement for the two cuts I'll be making on the wet saw.
Quiet voices in the night. Time is running out of sight. A lonely wind is passing by. Tries to carry all the whispers that it finds.
After checking the paver fits properly, I repeat the process for the corner on the other side. With all the pavers trimmed and dry fit, I give the entire patio a final wash down in preparation for cementing the pavers in place. My plan is to start sticking the pavers in the back corner next to the step and work my way around to the front.
Hold my hand and hear the words I say. Close your eyes and let us fade away. Build a secret place for you and me. Let our minds be caught up in a dream.
I make sure I've got good coverage of tile cement on both surfaces and then push the paver into place, rocking it back and forth until I can feel it scraping on the concrete. This half paver is going to need some packers to get it up to the right height, so I'm test fitting some 3mm packers here. Once I'm satisfied the 3mm packers are going to work, I add the tile cement and set it in place just like the other paver. I continue the process all around the outside edge of the patio. With all my careful preparation and test fitting these pavers, the formula's coming together really well and everything's sticking in place, really square, plumb and aligned perfectly with our foundation. It's a beautiful sunny day, so it's time for me to settle down and enjoy this process.
Tired snowflakes are coming down, collapse into water when they hit the ground. I hear the sound of empty streets. Yesterday has gone to sleep, so all that's left is you and me. I can promise you're the only thing I see. Hold my hand and hear the words I say. Close your eyes and let us fade away.
It's really important to sponge off any excess tile cement whilst it's still wet. With this side of the patio complete, I move round to the other side and repeat the process until I get to the front pavers.
Quiet voices in the night. Time is running out of sight. A lonely wind is passing by. Tries to carry all the whispers that it finds. The walls are listening when we talk, making echoes as we walk.
The corner pieces that notch around the pergola post are a little trickier because I want to get a really tight fit.
Hold my hand and hear the words I say. Close your eyes and let us fade away. Build a secret place for you and me. dream.
So the relaying of these pavers is now complete. We just stuck the last couple on this front edge down today. We went to a lot of trouble pouring this concrete slab to reset them on. Clad the outside of it with these paving pieces and then relaying all the other pavers on top. We ran into a couple of issues. There's two types of pavers with different thicknesses, which caused a bit of trouble. By using packers and a bit of grinding on the extra fat ones, we got them all pretty flat. The whole thing's on a very gradual slope coming this way. It's not really perceivable, but just enough to stop water puddling on it.
The two main objectives of this project was to raise the paving height up to the pre-existing steps that access the deck and to have a flat and smooth entryway into the garden. Let's take a quick look back at the steps we took to achieve our project using recycled pavers.
Tired snowflakes are coming down, collapse into water when they hit the ground. I hear the sound of empty streets.
So the idea here is to get a drawing so we can figure out all our materials and know how to navigate this when we relay everything. I'm drawing this roughly to scale.
I can't promise you're the only thing I see. Hold my hand and hear the words I say. Close your eyes and let us fade away. Build a secret place for you and me. Let our minds be caught up in a dream.
So last week we finished off doing the form work for this concrete patio we're going to pour here. We're going to make the pavers end exactly on the edge of these posts.
Quiet voices in the night. Time is running out of sight. A lonely wind is passing by. Tries to carry all the whispers that it finds. The walls are listening when we talk, making echoes as we walk. There's no one left but you and me. It's like a made-up place that only we can see. Hold my hand and hear the words I say. Close your eyes and let us fade away. Build a secret place for you and me. Let our minds be caught up in a dream. Standing underneath the lights, look into each other's eyes. There's no one left but you and me. It's like a made-up place that only we can see. Standing underneath the lights, look into each other's eyes. Tired snowflakes are coming down, collapse into water when they hit the ground. I hear the sound of empty streets. Yesterday has gone to sleep, so all that's left is you and me. I can't promise you're the only thing I see. Hold my hand and hear the words I say. Close your eyes and let us fade away. Build a secret place for you and me. Let our minds be caught up in a dream. Quiet voices in the night. Time is running out of sight. passing by tries to carry all the whispers that it finds.
Thanks for joining me this week on my YouTube channel. Check the link below, and while you're at it, hit the subscribe button or make a comment so I can help you with your future construction solutions. And don't forget to follow our channel for more ideas and how-to tips for home and garden projects.